Hey, so I never thought it would really come to this, but for about almost 15 years, I've been, pretty much into this Canadian rock group called 3 Days Grace. And just today in the morning, when I took a couple of melatonin gummies, and I mean, here's the thing: I don't try and start anything, but I've come to this thing where realization that I've had to stick up for myself all the time, and it gets really exhausting, and that you shouldn't really be a diehard fan of anything. So it just surprises me. I was name called by Barry Stock, the guitar player, on Instagram. And it just kind of sinks down and hurts me a little bit. Not a little bit. I mean, really, really affects me. And they come from a small town and they're ostracized and they're outsiders too, and whatever. So I kind of wonder, is the whole band like that? And so, yeah, I mean, I have some stuff, but I'm just like, that crap, garbage, 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 garbage. You know, 3 Days Grace, hoodie, garbage, garbage. What else here? You know, garbage, garbage. Whoops, whoops. Anyway, so it was just my response that they said, or he showed the Trump Tower, and oh, they're in Detroit. So I said, don't tell me that you're for Trump and all the stuff that he's been doing. And when there's someone that doesn't meet, I'm apolitical, but the more I'm reading into it now and whatever, following it, like, yeah, I have a stance. I can care less about anything, and I just hate people that are morons and bullies at the end of the day. So it's like, yeah, bye bye, retard. You know, if I had fans and a support system, I wouldn't end up doing whatever like that, because I'm a selfless person, and I'm not arrogant or egotistical, and it just really sucks. So yeah, I mean, Barry, can you do anything other than a bar chord? No, 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 because that's all they do, right? So I've been to two of your guys' shows, and I have no interest in going to any of your shows ever again. So then, I got kind of fed up in the nest. When is Matt leaving 3 Days Grace? And he didn't like that. So yeah, it just kind of sucks. I had a friend named Tommy, who introduced me to them, not personally, and I don't think I've ever really want to meet them. I don't I don't have an issue with Matt, but it's he he hasn't been with his band, My Darkest Days, in a long time, and Adam had his own thing and whatever. But yeah, don't meet your heroes. I said, don't meet your heroes, and I've heard that from some people. Don't meet your heroes. I used to be in a band. Not used to be in a band. I used to listen to this band called Petra, and I have some other stuff, and they're very into their whole religious point of view, their point of view and stuff. So I got in contact with them and asked them some questions about gay rights and stuff that was happening in the States. And the keyboardist John Lowry said to me, I think it's wrong. And I said, well, I think it's wrong listening to you guys for like 13 years of my life. So there's a kind of, well, it's not like this. John Lowry didn't call me a retard person, but he said, I think this is because, yeah. So, but inside of me, there's things that I can't help from who I am, but I can help myself from not, I've covered 3 Days Grace so many times, and I think I'm done. I'm not, but you guys lost a loyal, uh, really sensitive, uh, I'm a musician too, and it just kind of sucks that it's like the whole band like that, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Adam and Barry have been in the States for some times, and they've just become American now. Um, but it's nice that Adam's back. I'm a similar vocalist singer to Matt. I've only ever seen 3 Days Grace with Matt, and um, I'm not one of those people that would be like, oh yeah, he needs to. It's just a question of just like, well, when is he going? Because that can only work for so long, So you see, with like Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth, they hated each other and they couldn't do it. But yeah, Brad's brother is Matt, so the bass player's brother. So he got a free ticket in there. So I'm just there's other things I want to cover and do, and I'm going through what I call sort of an existential part of my life again. I've had knowledge of someone who isn't here anymore, Tanner, and that hasn't really helped. And I look up a lot of different things throughout the night, and my brain doesn't stop, and uh, I don't become very lucky. So when you've listened to 3 Days Grace, or you've been like, wow, these guys are, they resonate with me. This is so. It sucks. It really, and I've had to stand my ground with it. So, yeah. But then end up 3 Days Grace end up selling themselves a little short and going to the same producers all the time. Oh, how many times are you gonna go see Gavin Brown or Howard Benson? Me, I'm an independent I produce my own stuff, self-produced musician. Put my stuff through DistroKid, but I opt out. I opt out of TikTok because I don't want to be on TikTok. So, oh man, sometimes I just want to scream or whatever, throw things at the wall. But like, where's my sanity going? I'm just harnessing all this stuff. There's something that's gonna happen. Would be nice for me to write something, and I probably will. Hopefully, I can write something before I turn 30 in July. But when you're getting all the shit thrown at you and all the weight or whatever, and you can only do so much, and then you have one of your favorite bands, their guitar player, call you, goodbye retard on Instagram. Like, there's no relax, there's no rest, there's no you're getting attacked by a guitar player of a Canadian rock band that you've looked up to for some time. So yeah, yeah, and I know they're coming to Vancouver in June, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I could see some better stuff. I went to Billy Talent, and I know Billy Talent and 3 Days Grace kind of started at the same time. But Billy Talent has a trust fund for food banks and whatnot. So yeah, I've I've even felt even before this, just more recently, that yeah, I gotta do other things or whatever, and it's really hard. But maybe this is my reason to really branch out. Like, I want to cover Red. I may go back. I kind of want to do a Petra song cover. I listen to them every now and then, but just for member berries, like just times or whatever. But the whole gospel praise and worship is really hard for me to get into, even though I'm looking at near-death experiences and stuff. So even in grade 12, I had to see some people from hospice because of my concern of death one day, and we're all going to go through it. So it doesn't take much, and all these little small little things can change everything, everything. And I'm bringing this to light. Kind of surprises me how people like that can do that to somebody. And yeah, there's some people that are for Trump that should not be, and the world is just crazy right now. The first song I heard from 3 Days Grace was The Good Life, and it's not having that good life right now. So I'm just, forget everything, pawn all the little stuff that I've had or whatever. It's just, I'm even at this point where, as far as clothing, I don't like wearing branded stuff. Like this long sleeve shirt is pretty plain. It just has this little thing, and little things at the cuff. But I think it's called Guess, made by Guess, but it doesn't have advertisement. Yeah, and what have you. I also have a 3 Days Grace cheap ass shirt. It was so expensive, yet it was made by Chinese Gildan. It's a Gildan shirt, and they just put. I could do a lot better than that. So, yeah. So I'm sort of gonna avoid and not pay attention to them anymore because they lost someone that was really, really into them. And yeah, I've thought about the whole VIP backstage thing, but there's no point in it. Like, don't meet these people. They're not for you. They'll take a picture and then like, oh, you can only ask you a certain amount of questions. Done. So why doesn't Matt leave 3 Days Grace and go back to, so I was never no Adam fan to a Matt fan or whatever. I went to 2 of their shows regardless or whatever, and I would, I liked hearing So Called Life and all these other songs. Lifetime was one that really struck me. But since that's what's happening today, it's 4 or 5 in the morning, and you get a reply from Barry Stock, the guitar player, and he's being kind of weird or whatever, because you just say, don't tell me that you're like I could be in a sauna room or the steam room in the pool, and not get like so wrapped up and heated. Just be like, don't tell me that you're, oh well, that's not storm off or whatever. It's just saying, don't tell me that you're, because this is not good. Don't tell me that you're buying into this, but you are. So yeah, he's a part-time moron. He's a part-time retard. He's a part-time big dick douchebag. Yeah, his name's Barry. Oh well, yeah. So I'm just not gonna really listen to them anymore. Yeah, so it kind of sucks because I felt like every song was kind of written for me. Though when I would hear The Abyss off Outsider, it was just like, oh my god, yeah, I'm depressed already, and this is really depressing. Yeah, it talks about stepping off the ledge and going to the abyss or whatever, and not a good message. So don't have idols, don't have people like that, because they will let you down. I've kind of known that, like with Petra And definitely with 3 days grace, it's like almost 15 years coming this summer. So I'm kind of, kind of stopping that right now. And just repeat the same cycles every day. I don't choose to do that, but I want to feel like I can, stop thinking about all the doom and gloom, but the doom and gloom is there. And I've had a lot of losses, and uh, yeah, I've struggled all my life through being put here and there and on assistance and whatnot. So, and try to, you know, try to put myself out there, and no one can see me. You can't see me. You can't see me. And that's the way I kind of feel and experience and look at it, and how I feel, right? So I'm not retarded. I'm not retarded at all. So, and my new Instagram, I don't think I've ever blocked anyone on my new. I mean, there might come a point that I will if there's someone that's, but for the most part, people end up blocking me because yeah, it just goes to show that there's so many people that are just cardboard cutouts of the same person and samey. And I feel like I need to go at this hard and can't say nothing. I need to say something. And that's really, really bugging me. Just really upsets me, and is kind of devastated at the whole thing. So I'm kind of wondering if the other guys in that group are like that. Well, one little bad mistake can ruin the whole thing. Yeah, from someone who's in a group like that. And I've even heard from the whole business side with Adam, with the guys. It's sort of like questionable, but yeah, I don't have an interest in anything, and I'm just gonna fill my time with other things. There's other things I need to do and think about and listen to, and hopefully I can write a song. It's been like 9 years for me, but it's not a must. It's not. I have no deadline. I'm not on a contract. There's not someone saying, "Oh, you do this. Maybe I suggested do it this way." No, there's nothing like that. So, but I'm a little let down with that, and I was kind of hoping that, kind of surprised that there'd be someone like that, because they were bullied one time in their life, and yet they're calling their, basically their number one fan, but I felt like a retard. So just because uh, I'm kind of standing up for myself, and kind of question it, like, because all it was is there's a picture of a bus passing through, and there's the Trump Tower, and they're somewhere in Detroit or whatever, and I can't wait to play here, and yeah, and you see his timeline, you see his stories of like a little baby. It's like, oh, it looks like he's gonna make things great again, or it looks like he's gonna. Oh my god, it's a disaster, and totally out of the blue. I don't even know if this is gonna lead into anything, but this Mark Carney guy, who's going to be the new prime minister. So with Justin Trudeau, his past resume was his father was, a prime minister before, so he had nothing before that. So Mark Carney was kind of a globalist, and Bank of Canada, went to England, and all these other kind of things. So did all these things with finance, budget, and whatever. So I can care less. I mean, all these kind of politics, they make a promise, and then all things fail the next year, the same year. A promise is made. Every year a promise is made and a lie happens or whatever. And it's it's a weird kind of time we're at where just everyone's just so much on their phones too, on their phones. And I can be too, but I'm not into this whole thing of like staring at myself in the mirror or whatever, and laughing and being just like another copy and paste of the same person that I saw before. You know, Insta scam and whatever it is. So, but I'm not listening to you guys anymore. I'm not paying attention to any of it. You guys are crapola. And if you call a fan of yours retard, then you guys are probably the most biggest retard ever. If I have anything to say about that, because yeah, none of you care about anyone who listens to you, whatever. So yeah. I'm already having a tough time. It seems like the tough time keeps getting tougher, and it just doesn't stop. So I always want peace. I want a day of just total relaxation, of where no one's interfering or calling you names online, or yeah. But I don't think I should listen to someone who's name calling me. So yeah, but put my interest into other groups, you know. But I don't think I need to be a mega fan or worship any sort of artist or group ever, really. I don't think I need to get so locked and loaded into some sort of thing where I'm idolizing, you know. No, don't be on one different thing. And yeah, but I'm feeling the emptiness. Yeah, I'm feeling the little bit of the hurt that's sinking in, like with that. But I'll tell you, I'm moving away from being a 3 Days Grace fan, and I can care less about what they do now. I mean, Mayday was just sort of a thing, and couldn't really get into it that much. They're not a very hopeful band. They're pretty pathetic at the end of the day. I mean, I feel now. So it just really sucks. They're not like Billy Talent, where they do a trust fund, or they do charities and organizations or whatever. When I went to see Billy Talent the first time in Abbotsford, like, we don't care if you're gay, we don't care if you're lesbian, we don't care if you're fucking Catholic, we don't care if anything. We just like you for you, and it's like, how long do you guys want us to be here? Because we have a lot of songs to go through, and so we're gonna be here a while. So Billy Talent, that was a good time. I never got a recording of some of their stuff then at the thing, because I had an iPad or a tablet. I had a tablet I left in the hotel and almost got lost had my friend Lenny at the time. Yeah. So we went through some of those shows. But the last time I saw 3 Days Grace was by myself, and there's some handsome guys that were right beside me. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And I tried everything I could to see if they wanted to hang out and stuff, and no one stayed beside me. No one, didn't meet anyone or get any contacts, or I tried. I even brought my acoustic guitar then, but because I had a hostile situation where I couldn't stay on Granville, where I had a booking that was confirmed on booking.com, and like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So once I got from the ferry from Victoria, they wouldn't let me stay probably because I didn't have a visa, but it was through my virtual Visa debit card, and that totally blown. And then I'm like, should I go to the 3 Days Grace concert or take last ferry back? And I had to stay at a Salvation Army after that night because they wouldn't let me stay at a hostel. And I was telling the box office that, and the security and all this stuff, like I'm here to see my favorite band at the time, my favorite band, not anymore. So yeah, put my hope and mind and interest into something else, because I can really give two fucking shits about anything. But it kind of hurts me. There's no stop. There's people kind of calling you all these kind of things, and it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much for people to kind of change your perspective, or like, no, maybe I should just drop this. Maybe I should just opt out, avoid 3 Days Grace, and not consume, not even care for about what the fuck they do anymore. So that's what I have to say. And I've said a lot, and I just can't believe that. I mean, their lead guitar player wasn't around. Originally, it was Adam, Neil, and Brad with the first album. Then they got him in the second album, but it's just shit. It's just shit. Like, you might want to go and look at some tutorials, man. Look at like Mark Tremonti from Creed, or some of the grades, Jeff Beck, whatever. But no, it's just these kind of yeah, I guess that's how retards play. But I'm definitely not a fan anymore. They lost a loyal fan that liked what they did for too long. I think it was kind of too long into that, like, oh yeah. But I've never met anyone that liked them as much as me, and probably for good reason. I meant they all seem like, well, I don't know. To me, this kind of seems like a pessimist, sociopathic kind of way of trying to hurt one of your most loyal fans. Anyway, kind of done listening to 3 Days Grace, and that's what I have to say about it.